Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we are going to create a to-do list project. So let us first of all see how our app is going to look like and what all are the features that we are going to build in this video. So we have an input here, and here I can enter my task like task 1. And when I click on submit, the task will be added in your task container. And if I click on remove, the task will remove from the your task container and it will move to completed task container. In the similar way, I can move forward and go ahead and add more tasks here, so it will be added here. So basically we are going to build these two features, that is adding the task and then removing the task. So let's go ahead and create our new React app. So npx create React app, and then I'm going to name my project as to-do list. So our project is now created and I have opened the project in a new directory. Now let's start our development server using npm start. So you can see my basic project has started. Now we will remove all the unnecessary things initially. So I'm going to basically empty my app.js. So guys, in this video, our main aim is to write and understand React logic and not to write much CSS. So what I have done is I have already prepared basic CSS and included it in index.css file. If you want the code, you will find it in the description box of the video. So now let's start of all. What we are going to do is we are going to write a h1 which will say to-do list. Okay. And let's see how it is displaying on the screen. So I have got my to-do list heading over here. Now let's move ahead and write few more things. So first is I want an input on the screen. So I will write an input tag, and then I will write a button which is going to say add task. So let's see. Yeah, so we have got an input and then a add task button. Let's move ahead and write other sections. So I will need a container. Okay, so let's give it a class name container, and this container will display my first container will display my your task, which means currently pending tasks. So let's see. So yes, see, if you can see, the first container is showing your task, and in the similar way I want another container which will display, instead of your task, it will show deleted task. Okay, or completed task, we can say completed tasks. So you can see we have got two containers. First one is for your task and second is for completed task. Let's create a list, okay, in both of them. So as of now, we are going to create a static list, and then we are going to later make it dynamic. So how we are going to create a list is unordered list. Okay, and then this list will have two things inside it. So the first is going to be not input but li, and second so li will have a some task and a button. So button is for removing the task. Okay, and we need to give some classes. So let me give one class over here which will be list container, and let's save it and see. So yes, you can see we have got one list over here. In the similar way, we are going to create a list over here also, but we have to remember that in this case we do not have to add a button, because in the completed list we do not need a button, we just need to show the completed task. So I'm just going to write a div, and inside that I'm going to write an li which will have my completed task, and on the div let me give a class name as list container. And if you see, we have got the task, but we need one more thing, that in our completed task the task should be striked out, because then only it will display that yes, this task is complete, right? So for that, what I can do is I have already included the CSS for it. So I'm just going to include the class name, and the class name is list striked. So now this is also done. So now the structure is ready. Now let's start writing the logic. So first logic is I want to store my input in a state variable, so that I can add that state into my your task list. Okay, so first of all, let's create a state for it. So do and set to do, and we are going to use state hook. This is going to be initially an empty string. So after that, what we need is inside my input, I'm going to put the value as to do. Okay, and I'm going to do a on change event handler. Basically anything changes in the input should be reflected in this to do state. Okay, so e means event dot e dot target dot value, and this should be updated in my state, which is to do. So set to do. Okay, so if I'm typing something, it should be yes, and when I click on task, it will be added in that state. Now our next task is to create a state which will contain our list array. Okay, so this, let's name it as to do's and set to do's. This will be basically an array. So initially let's keep it an empty array. Now what I want is, when I click on this button, okay, this task should be added to this array. Okay, and then we are going to map this array into this first container and display that task from there. Okay, which means from that list. So let's do that one by one. First of all, I need to write a on click event handler into add task button. Okay, so then only I can add my task. So on click event handler, and this will, what it will do is handle add. Okay, handle add means handling the addition task. So const handle add equals. Okay, now what I want is, as soon as I click on that button, it should update my set to do's. Okay, and set to do's, how it should get updated? First of all, whatever is there in my current array should be as it is, and it should update with the new latest entry which is stored in the to do. So that is why whatever is currently there in the to do's should be as it is, and it should make a new entry with the to do. So once this is done, our set to do's will be updated, and then let's now, instead of showing the task in this way, let's make it dynamic and show it through the array. So for that, what we need is, we need to map over the to do's list. Okay, so to do's array, so to do's dot map, and this is going to have this map function, and it is going to take to do from like one by one entry from that, and we are going to put this entire div inside our map. And never forget to return it, because we are adding a curly bracket, and instead of writing task like this, let's write it. Okay, so basically it will show one by one to do. Let's refresh and see if it is working fine. So task 1 add task, you can see the task is coming here. So now we have successfully written the logic for our handle add. Okay, now the next important thing is, I want that whenever I am entering a new task and I am clicking on add task, it should clear out my input field. So what I can do is, I can go over here. I want that once my to do's is set, to do's arrays is set, after that clear out my input. So how to clear out the input? So we can do set to do and with the empty string. So now if I'm entering a task, okay, task 3, and I'm clicking add, now my input field is cleared out. So this is also done. Now let's go ahead and write the logic for deleting the to do's, which means like when I click on this remove button, the task should be basically removed from this list, and it should be added to this completed task list. Okay, so for that we need to create another event handler, which is like in remove button. On the remove button, I'm going to write on click and handle delete. Okay, handle delete we are creating. And also one more important thing to note is, okay, first of all, let me remove this, otherwise it will give me an error that it is not defined. So what we need is, we need to capture somehow that which exact button was clicked, right? So for that, we will need a key with every list. So for that, let me add a key first. So I'm going to take index as the key, that on click event handler again over here, and at this time the index that I'm getting. Okay, so let me add a key first. So this key will help us uniquely identify which exact button was clicked, okay, out of multiple entries, which entry was clicked, and we are going to send that index from here to the handle delete function. Now let's write the handle delete function. So const handle delete, and this way we are going to get the index first of all, and now we are going to write the logic. So first thing is, we are going to create a const for updated list. Okay, and now what we are going to do is, we are going to filter over our to do's array. Okay, so what this is going to do is, this is going to filter based on our condition. So filter will basically give us two things, element and index. So I want that return only those where I is not equal to index. Okay, so this line over here means we need to store our update in the updated list. We need that only those entries. For example, if I'm clicking on remove, don't return this value and return everything else, which means return this task 1 and task 3 and don't return task 2. And once after returning, set our to-dos with the updated list value. So what this will basically do is when I click on remove button, this will remove my entry from there and just only keep the rest of the entries. So in this way we have written this logic for removing. Okay, now let's write the next logic where we have to display the removed item into this completed task list. So for that what we need is basically we need another array, okay, where we can capture all the deleted to-dos. So again we are going to write the similar logic for this also. So in this case the logic that we want to write is it is exactly similar to this, just basic few conditions that I'm going to change. I'll show you. This is going to be deleted list. Okay, so and the condition over here that we are checking is if it should be equal, which means that exactly which task was removed. So it will check that first and it needs to update this into our this deleted to-dos. So how it is going to update is we need to keep whatever was previously there. So first of all, set deleted to-dos and set deleted to-dos and keep exactly previously what was there. So in order to keep previous things, we need to do this spread operator. Okay, and add the latest deleted entry. So in this way. So now our deleted to-dos array will also be updated, and now let's map over that in this section. So till now we were mapping. We were not mapping something, we were just directly showcasing a hard-coded value. So now let us map over it and let's see if the data is coming properly. So I'm going to take this entire thing and put it over here and we are going to return it. Okay, and it is also giving me a to-do one by one from the deleted list array, which I'm going to display over here, and I'm going to add a key over here, which will be my index. Let's see the logic. So deleted list is not defined, so it is not deleted list, but actually we are mapping over deleted to-dos. So we are going to write deleted to-dos dot map, and then we are going to get to-do one by one, which we are going to display in the. So I'm going to add few tasks, task 1, task 2 and task 3. Now let's remove them. When I'm removing it, it is coming in my completed task list. So you see all of our logics are working absolutely fine. So the main logics that we have written over here is first is this handle add function, where we are handling whenever we are clicking on this add task button, it should add or update our to-dos array. Okay, the second logic that we were handling is when we are clicking on handle delete or this remove button, it should update our to-dos array. And finally we were creating a new array which was deleted to-dos, and in that we were checking what exact remove entry was clicked, and based on that we were just storing that entry into this new array deleted to-dos, and based on that we are mapping it into this completed task section. So that's how this app is working. So the entire code and everything you will find in the description box of the video. If you have any doubts, please feel free to ask me in the comment section and I will clear all your doubts. So thanks for watching this video, and if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel to receive all the latest updates.